Have you ever wondered what kinds of cars people are actually buying at Mecum auctions for less than $15,000? Because honestly, some of these prices are absolutely shocking. At the recent Mecum Glendale auction in Arizona, a surprising number of cars crossed the block for prices that feel almost unreal in today's market. We're talking classic muscle cars, Corvettes, Porsches, luxury sedans, V8 trucks, performance SUVs, and even a few collector oddballs. But here's the real question: were these true bargains? Or expensive mistakes waiting to happen? Today, we're looking at some of the most interesting cars that sold for $15,000 or less. And by the end of this video, you'll probably have at least one car you wish you had bid on yourself. Some of these were steals, some were risky, and a few could become future collectibles. So let's jump right in. The first car that instantly grabs attention is a 1979 Pontiac Trans Am. This is exactly the kind of car that makes people stop scrolling. It has that classic aggressive, front-end, shaker hood styling, an unmistakable late 70s muscle car attitude. This one had over 86,000 miles. The legendary 6.6-liter V8, an automatic transmission, air conditioning, and even a modern stereo upgrade. For a car that still looks this iconic, the value isn't just about horsepower, it's about presence. The Trans Am name still carries huge emotional value, especially for collectors who grew up seeing these on posters, in movies, and all over TV. At this price level, if the body and frame are solid, this could easily be one of the best buys of the entire auction. Next up was something completely different, but just as exciting, a 2007 Porsche Cayman. This might actually be one of the smartest enthusiast buys under 15 grand. It gives you mid-engine balance, German engineering, excellent handling, and one of the best driving experiences you can get at this price point. The first-generation Cayman is often considered one of Porsche's most underrated performance cars because it gives you premium sports car feel without 911 money. For drivers who care more about corners than straight-line bragging rights, this is a huge win. The big thing here, of course, is maintenance. Cheap to buy does not always mean cheap to own. But if the service records are clean, this could be one of the best values from the whole event. Then came the gorgeous 1963 Ford F-150 pickup. Now, this truck had serious presence. Classic paint, a beautiful bed, big V8 power, and the kind of styling modern trucks just can't recreate. It packed a 429 cubic inch V8, an automatic C6 transmission, and that carbureted old-school personality everyone loves. Classic trucks have been exploding in popularity because they blend usability with collector appeal. And when you find one that already looks this clean, it saves the next owner a huge restoration bill. That alone can make it worth the auction. Prize one of the more exciting muscle-style builds was the 1972 Plymouth Satellite Roadrunner Tribute. This is where things get interesting. Tribute builds can either be incredible values or total traps. This one had a 440 V8, aggressive stance, bucket seats, a rear spoiler, and all the period-correct muscle car vibes. The beauty of tribute cars is that they give you the look and sound of a six-figure classic without the insane collector premium. If the build quality is solid, this is a fun way to get the muscle car experience on a realistic budget. Then we had a 1986 Chevrolet El Camino, and this one screams nostalgia. Part car, part truck, all attitude. The biggest selling point here was the money already spent on the body and paint work. That matters, because cosmetic restoration costs can destroy your budget fast. A solid small block Chevy V8, working AC, and clean body lines make this a highly usable weekend cruiser. For the right buyer, this is one of the easiest classics here to actually enjoy on a regular basis. Now, let's talk Corvettes, because several of them showed up in this auction. First up was the 1976 Corvette C3 in bright yellow. Love it or hate it, the C3 body style is timeless. Long hood, sweeping fenders, instant pop culture presence. This generation always delivers drama. The interior looked surprisingly clean, and the originality only adds to the appeal. For under 15 grand, this feels like affordable American sports car history. Then came the 1981 Mustang GT convertible. Fox Body Mustangs have become increasingly desirable. These cars represent affordable V8 fun, massive aftermarket support, and endless nostalgia for 80s and early 90s enthusiasts. 5.0-liter V8 with a manual gearbox is exactly what many collectors want. Prices on clean examples keep climbing, so this one could age very well. One of the most surprising modern performance feels was the 2007 Jeep Grand Cherokee SRT 8. This thing is a monster. 6.1-liter Hemi V8.420 horsepower SUV. Practicality. Enough straight-line speed to embarrass sports cars from its era. This is one of those vehicles that has future cult classic written all over it. The danger, of course, is maintenance and mileage. But emotionally, this is a very easy vehicle to love. Another shocking buy was the 2011 Porsche Panamera when these first came out. People debated whether a four-door Porsche even made sense. Now, they're starting to look like incredible used performance bargains. You get over 400 horsepower, a luxury interior, high-speed touring comfort, and Porsche prestige for economy car money. That's hard to ignore. But once again, maintenance is what decides whether this is a steal or a nightmare. The 2006 Pontiac GTO was another standout. This is one of the most underrated V8 performance cars of the 2000s. 0.400 horsepower, a 6.0-liter V8. Excellent sound and stronger reliability than many European alternatives, because it still flies under the radar. Values remain surprisingly affordable. This might actually be one of the smartest long-term buys in the entire lineup. Then came a 1988 Corvette 35th Anniversary Edition. Special editions always carry extra collector interest. The white and white styling, special package details, and classic Latati's Corvette identity make this much more interesting than a standard C4. These still feel undervalued compared to earlier generations. Then there was the legendary 1995 Chevy Impala SS. Black paint. Factory. Wheels. Muscle sedan. Reputation. This car has serious street presence. The Impala SS keeps gaining respect because it blends V8 performance with everyday comfort. The future value potential here feels very strong. One of the most luxurious steals may have been the 2014 Jaguar XKR Coupe. This one is wild. A supercharged V8 Grand Tour with exotic styling for barely over $10,000. If everything works, this is an unbelievable amount of car for the money. But Jaguars always raise the same question. Can you afford the repair bills after the purchase? Still, for style and exclusivity, this may be unbeatable. The 1973 Ford LTD Broom delivered pure vintage luxury. Brown-on-brown styling. Vinyl roof, chrome trim, plush seats, and old-school American comfort. Cars like this are less about performance and more about preserving an era. At this price, it feels like a rolling time capsule. Then we got one of the coolest Japanese classics, the 1980 Datsun 2A. These are getting harder and harder to find in nice condition. Classic long-nosed proportions, daily drivable manners, and huge enthusiast support make this one especially appealing. Japanese classics have been rising fast in value, so this may quietly be one of the best buys in the entire auction. The 2019 Alfa Romeo Stelvio was probably the biggest wildcard. Turbocharged four-cylinder, modern, luxury crossover styling, battalion personality, this is the kind of vehicle buyers either absolutely love or completely avoid. The driving dynamics are usually excellent, but long-term ownership, confidence can vary. That mystery factor actually makes it fascinating. Then another Corvette entered the lineup, a 1997 C5 Corvette Coupe. This generation is one of the best performance bargains in America. LS power. Great handling. Modern enough to daily drive. Classic enough to collect. For under $15,000. This feels like almost unfair value. Then came a 2016 Range Rover HSE. This is luxury, status, and comfort at a suspiciously low entry price. Used Range Rovers are always tempting, but ownership costs are where many buyers get punished. If you get a clean one, amazing. If not, the repair shop becomes your second home. One of the most fun vehicles in the entire auction had to be the 1972 Ford Custom Van. This thing is pure personality. Wood paneling. Shag carpet. Side pipes. Vintage span. Culture energy. This isn't just transportation. It's a lifestyle statement. Vehicles like this win purely on cool factor. Then came the